Oh, snap, crackle, and pop. And I wish, 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 and I wish. I ain't got no problem, there's no trouble with me. Hey, try not being there's a struggle for me. I don't want to die for y'all to miss me. Hey, sorry. God plan. God plan. Timestamp Drake is his only answer. Oh, Lord. So, what's up, the door? So, for lack of a better term, OV goat, Jesus Christ. So I'm gonna let people pop in here because I'm not gonna. This stream one isn't gonna be as long as my normal streams. My normal streams usually go for like 2 hours, but it's Sunday. I have work, and we can't go that long. Okay, we just can't do it. What's up? What's up? Boom. So what we're gonna do here? What's up, my ninja? What's up, forward? So like I said, this stream is gonna go as long as normal because I have work tomorrow. I need to go take a shower, and it's 9 o'clock on a Sunday. So responsibilities and shit. But I wanted to talk about this. How you got Chick-fil-A on a Sunday? So Friday I ordered two vanilla milkshakes. And I ate one on Friday, which is on the Friday stream. And then the second one I'm eating today. Picking up dinner in a restaurant, listening to Kendrick Banger. See you talking about the music industry destroying the moneymaker. So, destroying their moneymaker. So I wanted to talk about this, but I want to talk about this like not in the same way everyone else is talking about it. Everybody else is approaching this from the, Kendrick destroyed Drake, da-da-da. I feel like this is kind of common knowledge at this point. The man back-to-backed him and undercut him immediately, where he put out a response and then he undercut his response in like an hour. It wasn't even an hour, it was like 20 minutes, and then put out another thing. So I'm not gonna go into the minutia of how calculated Kendrick is. Okay, I don't really think this needs to be about Kendrick, and I'm not gonna make it about Kendrick. I mean, Kendrick did it for the culture, and let's be real here. It's created the most entertaining weekend I think the rap community's had in a while. On top of all that, that Metro Boomin beat is just was like the icing, was like the cherry on top of everything. So there was a lot of stuff that went down, but I really want to talk about Drake because I feel like Drake isn't really, the conversation around Drake is on some very vicious shit. And I'm not saying it's not deserved, especially, and I'm not gonna run into this conversation under the allegations being true. Now the allegations later get proven true, that's a different story. But right now they're just allegations. So the whole, the pedophilia thing, and then the other children we may or may not know about, those two things. And Metro organized all his ops to get him. So yeah, that's why I don't want to talk specifically about the allegations. I want to talk about Drake himself. Because a lot of people, the way Kendrick has painted the narrative and has pushed the narrative is that Drake is just a terrible human being. And I'm not even going to argue against that as a conversation point. But I want to at least analyze why Drake might be the way that he is. Because from a young age, well, I won't say a young age, but when Drake first was coming up, like back in the whole Take Care days, right? His like early Degrassi transitioning days, Drake is what most people would call, like, if you saw Drake in high school, Drake is kind of a nerd. Drake is kind of a loser. Drake has always been those two things, okay? This is coming from someone who was also labeled into the same vein for different reasons, right? And Drake was a fan of hip hop. I think Drake genuinely loved hip hop and rap and enjoyed the genre of music. And in a lot of ways, I almost argue I could kind of parallel him and Eminem in some ways, because Eminem also wasn't like a popular kid in school. That dude was also a loser. Was getting beat up. He talks about it in his earlier albums, getting beat up and getting made fun of. Da 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 da. And I think the thing, but since Drake being black, I think it hit a little bit different than it would have for Eminem. Eminem was always going to struggle because he's a white boy trying to get into a predominantly black field while also trying to be respectful to the culture. Drake very much wanted to be a part of the culture. He was a big fan of a lot of old school rappers, and he just wanted some respect. And the funny thing is that like I think a lot of like historians will tell you, he was like on tour with like Kendrick. You know, I think he was on tour with ASAP Rocky. He was doing stuff with a lot of the rappers that don't fuck with him now. I mean, for God's sakes, him and Future made a whole album together. So it ain't like these people. Hell, and he worked with The Weeknd. So it's not like he was always hated for whatever reason. Drake is that way because of his biracial issues, not his high school social circle, because he didn't even go to a regular high school. Drake was too black for white and too white for blacks. Well, kind of. The reality is that I'm noticing a lot of nerds love Drake. I didn't even know it was because of relatability. Well, I'll be real with you. Drake, to me, was never like relatable on that nerd shit. The person I would say that I correlated to as far as that stuff was probably more someone like well, that's true, Omar. And that kind of goes into the issue Drake had. Drake early on didn't have anybody holding him down. That boy was just putting stuff out and getting kind of busted out. The only kind of cosign he got is when he signed to Cash Money Records, and he got a Lil Wayne and a damn Birdman cosign, which was a way harder cosign than he needed. Like the cosign he got from those two was ridiculous. But Drake was also just putting out good music. Like Drake was putting out good music. I would like going back to the nerd thing. I never fuck with Drake because I thought he was a nerd, because he's not really a nerd in the traditional sense. He's the nice guy. He's the type of nice guy girls really hate and think every other nice guy is like. He's that nice guy who's nice and thinks something's owed to him. Like, let's be real here. Drake has his problems, and one of his biggest problems is that he feels like he's owed shit. And part of the reason why he feels like that is because he's somewhat entitled. Is that Zobi Man camps out of a GameStop for a trail stream? Chill out, studio. But Drake is entitled. Drake very much feels like he's owed the applause and the awards and the love and the respect. And unlike M, who although did get a Dre cosign, M was also putting out good music. So why is it that Dre? I mean, why is it that Eminem still has the general like? No one like people may not like Eminem's music, but people don't go, oh, Eminem is a call. No one ain't never called Eminem a colonizer, right? And he would be the more prime person to call that over Drake, right? Based off of race. So why we out here calling Drake a colonizer? Well, it's because Drake is a dude who's ashamed of his lineage. Unfortunately, rap is a genre of music that glorifies struggle culture. And so the one thing Eminem had over Drake in that comparison is that Eminem struggled. Eminem was in the ghetto. Eminem went public school. Eminem struggled the same way a bunch of these other traditional rappers struggle. Drake didn't do that. Drake was in fucking Canada. Drake didn't grow up in the hood. Drake was a child star, for God's sakes. So Drake doesn't even have the base level connection that like other artists have. He didn't struggle. And to me, that's an unfairness in the hip hop industry, right? Just because you don't come from the ghetto doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to make quality music. And then someone I think brought up like Yachty. Like, well, you know, Yachty came from the suburb. No one fucks with Yachty. A lot of people didn't fuck with Yachty from the get-go. Remember that. Yachty, it was very much an attrition thing. And Yachty, for the most part, just stayed in his lane with the type of music he made. The issue Drake had is as Drake got more popular, he went through the same thing that Eminem did, where like slowly but surely he started making better and better music, and he started blowing up. And the music he was known for was some corny ass love song shit. Like for a while, Drake's main audience was just women, just fucking women. He made like the corniness of Drake is like he's like lovesick. That's like the best way I can describe Drake. He's a lovesick guy. He likes to make a lot of like love songs and serenades for the ladies, but he never could get a girl. He was literally that guy who could never get a girl, but would openly talk about how bad he wanted a girl. Right? That is the struggle that Drake went through. He spent like his early career was very much a representation of him as a person. He even tells like if you go back and look at like stories of him and when Rihanna and him first were talking in that whole Chris Brown beef that was going on at the time. Chris Brown I hate to say it, was a harder dude than Drake was. And it became very apparent once you got those. Drake has always been a soft guy, but Drake was in an industry where you had to be hard because there was no respect for dudes who were soft. So Drake is in an industry where you have to pretend to be a certain way, but on top of that, he also wasn't getting any respect because if people knew Drake, they know he's soft. They knew he was soft. And so over time, as he made more money and he became more popular and you couldn't really ignore him, he got kind of cosigns. People started fucking with him, but primarily because he was making money. He was making money, and it was like if you got Drake on your beat, you got Drake on your song, that was almost like a guaranteed hit, right? That's the status Drake had gotten to. So when Drake got to that status, he had earned enough respect to where people couldn't ignore him. People really didn't fuck with him on no personal shit, but you couldn't ignore Drake, right? And I think Drake mistook that accomplishment for him being that dude, when the reality is Drake was never that dude. And I think Drake got his head caught up, his head blown up, thinking he was that guy, and he started being mad reckless, saying a bunch of different things, taking advantage of people, especially the young crowd. He would try to jump on a young beat or a young rapper, up and coming rapper, and then he ended up weirdly enough burning bridges. But Drake had so much pull in the industry, even if you didn't fuck with Drake, you kind of had to fuck with Drake in order to get your foot in the door, right? And what I feel like what's happened over this past weekend or even the last week is a culmination of a bunch of his terrible fucking decisions, on top of the fact that people already didn't fuck with Drake regardless of that. Like I said, some of the hate that Drake gets is not fair to him because people just don't fuck with nerdy dudes. But like, he then ended up doing generally bad things throughout his career that made him like truly hateable. So even if there was like an understanding of, okay, they've been a little bit unfair to Drake, like you kind of stop caring after the taking advantage of Weeknd and his music, taking advantage of these younger artists, as Kendrick said in what was it? Was it Meet the Grams or was it no, it was Not Like Us, where he was like, you keep going to Atlanta to get these weird cosigns and get the music. This is where he was called a colonizer and this, that, and the third. Drake gained like this chip on his shoulder because the longer he was in the industry, the more it became apparent how little respect he really had. And a lot of that started bothering him. That's also why his music started changing. He went from doing like these love serenade songs to starting to rap. He started to rap more often and trying to get those beats and trying to portray himself as someone harder than he was. If anything, he low key turned into an incel. That's what he turned into. And Drake becoming an incel became this like angry, jaded, like fuck everybody kind of mentality. He had a handful of people he fucked with, and for the most part, if he thought he could use you for some clout or some advantage, that's exactly what he did. And he kept burning bridges. But he didn't care, because fuck y'all. Y'all didn't fuck with me anyway. Because I was the nerdy kid out here singing love songs. And I got curved by Rihanna. And I got curved by Megan Thee Stallion. And I got curved by all these other women. I got curved by Serena Williams. And da-da-da. Like, he was already a person struggling with something. The industry made it worse. And then he unfortunately developed even worse habits throughout the industry. And it became this nasty fucking snowball of terrible decision after terrible decision. And nobody was behind him. And although I say for the most part, I very much believe Drake kind of screwed himself. I think if Drake had had someone early in his career to catch him on that bullshit, he would have been fine. Or have someone around him that made him recognize it's okay to be a nerdy dude. Because to be real here, I also think the industry just doesn't really approve of nerdy type of dudes in rap. Like another dude I fuck with a lot is Kyle, Super Duper Kyle, right? Super Duper Kyle is very much a nerdy kind of dude, right? He is a nerdy dude who can rap. The difference, and I think the main thing that Kendrick was even getting at in some of his disses, because there's so many disses at this point, is that I think he even said it, he was like, I would fuck with you more if you would just do what you were doing. Like the version of you I fuck with is the version of you when you first started, the more genuine version of yourself. But he can't go back to being that version because that version got clowned and made fun of and busted out. And Drake already being a soft dude did not help. Like he came into a genre of rap that like literally would ate him up. And so the only way he could get through it was developing a different persona or becoming ruthless in his own ways. And he became ruthless in his own ways. And that's where all these burned bridges are coming from. He literally burned every bridge around him for the sake of trying to be hard. But he was hard as a businessman, not hard as a person. And even as a businessman, it wasn't even like he was making crazy, amazing decisions. Like, what was that? I'm trying to remember. There was like that. What was the rapper's name? YK Osiris? YK Osiris. Remember him? If you go back, if you go looking on YouTube, this dude went from like a good start to a nasty dropout. But one of the reckless things I ever saw is I think he had bet Drake some money. And Drake, who didn't need the money, by the way, instead of like trying to help this dude, literally embarrassed him. I think it was on IG or Snapchat, embarrassed him, had him like sing Drake songs, like just embarrassed the dude on live. And I'm like, bro, even if he owed you money, you could at least kept that man's reputation on lock. You had to like, but see, that's what happens. That dude was in power and nobody can fuck with him. And like I said, part of that is the hip hop community. The hip hop community does not embrace nerdy dudes. I think Kyle is another person who didn't blow up. I think even what happened with Childish Gambino to me is kind of that. Now I could be wrong. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on this. But like Childish Gambino's like first album is very much like a nerd dude rapping, and I fuck with his shit. The funny thing is he didn't gain mainstream success like the way he deserved until like that next album, the one where he came out with his shirt off and had his beard all out. He looked as African as he could look in some of his most popular songs. I think Redbone is fine. I have no issues with Redbone. I think Redbone's a nice, like, and I get the artist changed their style, but he felt like he went through an entirely insane transition. But people didn't start fucking with Childish Gambino like that, at least on the music side, until his music became quote unquote blacker in some ways, which is ridiculous to me, but that's what happened. And then, This Is America came out, and then that was the track. And I'm just like, bro. And granted, I have my own issues with that track in general, but like it bothered me that like he had to transition into that for people to start fucking with him. And I think if I remember right, isn't Childish Gambino also married to a white woman? If I remember correctly, I think he's married to, I know he's married to a non-black woman. I think. Watch I be wrong. Let me see. Watch I be wrong. Where's his wife? No, his wife. Yeah, he has a. Yeah. Yeah, his wife is white. Or no, maybe it's not white. What is this? Michelle White. I just want to see. I don't know, but the point is she's not black. And I know people are going to be like, And I'm not even bringing it up as like a big deal, but yeah. Oh, she Asian? Yeah, it's fine. Either way, the point I'm making is that unfortunately nerds in rap has never been a strong thing because nerd shit doesn't correlate easily into rap shit. Unfortunately, a part of the culture has never been, and that's partially because nerd shit doesn't hit And it's weird calling Drake a nerd because he's not really a nerd in like the D&D anime kind of way. He's more of like a nerd in the fact that he was just an unpopular dude. Oh yeah, he's older. He's like he was born in like the 80s. Let me go back and look. I didn't look at some of the stuff you guys were typing. Let me read that real quick. I don't feel comfortable with Drake saying the N-word. You don't really need street credibility now to be a rapper. Well, kind of. It depends on the kind of rapper you are. If you rap in your lane, you'll be fine. But in the moment you start trying to rap out of pocket, that street cred is gonna get you in trouble if you don't have it. You can't be my friend and make money off my hard work. You can't be my boy and then try to sleep with my girl. It doesn't help Drake. Is in the head of the entire music industry. I'm Puerto Rican and I don't like saying the N-word even though Hispanics use it too, like Fat Joe. The stuff has been wild. I've not even invested in this scene and I've heard about this. It's the hip hop community. The one thing none of those women the thing is, that's the thing. None of those women curved him. He was with Riri for years. He was with Serena Williams. He fumbled all those by letting his fame go to his head and sleeping with anyone's girl. They never embraced him. You know what nerd I like? Charles Hamilton. Oh, don't bring that up. That says something about the community. Hip hop never started like that. Me and your mama. Yo, I didn't know Charles Hamilton. I don't get it. If you didn't mess with Drake when he first came out, but no one stopped him from making hits. I don't get it. If you didn't mess with Drake when he first came out, but no one stopped him from making hits, Drake just dropped. There ain't no way he just dropped. It feels like the community changed on him. Well, kind of. The problem is I don't think people fuck with Drake. People didn't fuck with Drake back then until he started making hits. And then you had to and even then, people didn't fuck with him. The problem is that he was a fan. Drake is a fan of like hardcore rap, but he wasn't like that kind of rapper. He couldn't rap like that. If I Google if he just dropped, I swear to God, I'll give him credit if he just dropped. That'd be fucking wild. Although my messenger just went off, so I'm a little surprised if that's. Let me see. I feel like he's lying to me, dog. Oh, no. He did just drop. No. Oh, no, bro. He better not. Oh, no. Can we listen to this? Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, support the stream because this bitch is about to get fucking... This shit's probably going to get claimed. I'm going to tell you right now. Now, I'm not a hip hop. I'm not going to catch all these fucking bars, but Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not going to catch these. I'll live reaction to it. But support the stream because I promise you, the shit's getting claimed. This shit getting claimed, dog. This shit's gonna get claimed. I'm not playing. There's no visual. It's just you can see the picture. So there's no I don't think there's like a video to it. So yeah. Drake just dropped his response. Oh no. Okay. All right. Hold on. I hate it because I was trying to have a conversation about this and now it's turned into this. It's absolutely turned into this. All right. Guys, just know, support the stream because this shit is about to get, this shit is definitely getting fucking claimed. I want y'all to know that. So support the fucking stream. Also, because this bitch may not be up after we're done. I'm curious if this is even going to let me get away with it. We'll try it. We're going to try it. Let's see how this goes. Can y'all wait? Can y'all hear that? Could y'all hear that real quick before I keep going? Could y'all hear that? Of course, Kendrick removed his copyright claim. You good? All right, cool. Let's get it. Let's get it. The picture, the thumbnail is literally just Dave Free Twitter with a black heart and a heart with your hands. So let's see. Let's get it. Let's get it.
The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. For this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient.
So he's saying he baited him. He's saying he baited him. If I'm understanding this correctly, it sounds like he baited him. It sounded like he's saying he's essentially baited Kendrick, and that this isn't true. Now, whether or not this is the case, we don't know. But he sounds like he's like, oh, we baited you. It wasn't even true information. Da 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 da. So we're gonna see if this is actually true. We're gonna hear what the rest of what Drizzy got to say. What else Drizzy got to say?
Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga. I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today and I was like, mother, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with is so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant.
Oh wait, my bad. I'm muted. My bad. I'm muted. I'm sorry. So he's really pushing this whole that ain't your kid angle, and he lying about the statements about his daughter, about this daughter he doesn't really have, and the reason why he's talking the way he's talking about him being a pedophile is because of him being molested when he was younger. The problem, I guess, at least he's properly responding to it. But saying you baited him to take that direction, but you have to prove that. You can't just, like, the allegations were weird, the allegations were crazy, and then you didn't even prove. Like, the issue is, how you gonna prove that isn't the truth? Like, I'm too famous. No, being too famous doesn't mean you didn't do it. Being too famous means you got away with it. There are plenty of famous individuals who got away with reckless shit for years, okay? So like it's a weird position to be in because it's not. I think we would need receipts. We need some sort of proof, like, oh, we baited you. Yeah, but like, I think this bait would have made more sense if he had dropped like a meet. The bait would have made sense if he had dropped this like right after he dropped like Meet the Grams. If he had dropped this like right after Meet the Grams, it would have undercut Kendrick bad. You waited too long. I hate to say that. He waited too long because now it just sounds like, oh yeah, you took the bait, dog. I'm like, I don't think that's what this was about, but okay. All right, we still got like half the song left. Hold on, let's get. I'm gonna let it rock.
Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment. The shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents. But you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Browns. I never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hit maker, dog, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't wanna fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album.
I see. The problem is he's still trying to hit him on. I get the argument he's making is that Kendrick fought for R. Kelly's music to stay on streaming platforms even when the allegations came out. I think the problem is that no one, like, this man literally. I feel like the issue you should have is he was talking to your son. He made a song talking to your son, your parents, and your potential daughter about how bad of a person you are. And your response is still on this, oh, well, your baby ain't even yours, and you out here beating women, and you ain't getting as many streams as me, but like it's unfortunately it's stuff he's already said, and he's trying to make it sound like he calculated that, but like, you gotta prove that, bruh. There's gotta be proof. Your only proof is a picture of Dave Free leaving like heart emojis under, like, man. He didn't have enough. This ain't even close to being. This would have kind of worked better if he released this way earlier. If he had released this, like, I'm serious, like right after Meet the Grams, he probably would have been okay if he had released it quicker. Yeah, and he's saying, Kendrick is a hurt, molested child. That's why he's going on the pedophile angle. But hold on, let's finish the song.
Don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon. No wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you when I see you like Fantasia. Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer. I promise. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor, but it is what it is. You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out though. Like, you got 10 more records to drop. The one before the last one, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. And then you go and drop the West Coast one and try and cover that up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if you wasn't tripling down on some whole other bullshit. But, you know, at least your fans are getting some raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you, bring you back to the game, like, you know. But just let me know when we're getting to the facts. Everything in my shit is facts. I'm waiting on you to return the favor, like.
Oh no, bruh, no. No, what is this? Oh, that wasn't even close to being. Oh, buddy. Buddy, that would have been so. It's not great by any means, but it would have been way better if he was as calculated as he's trying to make the argument he was calculating. He would have been. If this had came out right after Meet the Grams, he might have had an argument. Because then it would have been like, damn, it's too quick. It's been too quick. The track came out so quick, it undercut him. You waited too long, and unfortunately, you still didn't address like the wild statements about this man literally attacked you. I'm not gonna say what do you mean biracial king? Like what? I don't have a dog in that fight. I've listened to songs from Drake and Kendrick. It's not like we out here holding on specifically like to Drake like he's the king. But I really wish that track would have been at least okay if he had put that right after Meet the Grams. Because then you can make the argument that, okay, yeah, he kind of saw you coming. And that maybe he telling the truth and that stuff fabricated. There is no proof. There is no proof that that's what happened. I'm trying to have a conversation about Drake as a person. And this man comes and releases this bullshit ass fucking response. God, what are the Kendrick gonna drop before I'm done listening? Kendrick about to drop. That's all people saying in the chat. This past week is Alone has got to be the best thing in rap in decades. Direct and to the point, just what we needed. Drake trying to hit a chord, but stuck on an A minor. Yeah, we ain't the only. Who else trying to bet that Kendrick is about to drop a response within the hour? This is the craziest weekend I've ever experienced. This is absolutely insane, bro. Well played. I was with Kendrick all the way until this. This is the spirit of rap that inspired me as a kid. No, it's not. I'm 23 now, and Drake and Kendrick will know me soon. I'm an Indian kid who raps very well. You'll be okay. Stop. This is getting ridiculous. Kendrick uploading as we speak, bro. It's funny as fuck that in Drake's comment section for a track he just released, all people doing is just saying, man, Kendrick about to drop. That's how you know you still fucking up. That tells you this shit wasn't enough. If the first thing in the damn comment section is Kendrick about to drop, that means that you didn't say nothing crazy for them to be focusing on. But see, that's Drake. Drake focused on this women beater, you lying. And I'm just like, and then see, he's still talking about accolades, which is the disconnect he has from Kendrick. Kendrick is a man of the culture. Kendrick is a man of the culture, and he proved he was a man of the culture throughout his entire career. Drake, I think, fucked with the culture heavy in the beginning, but like as time went on, he became so disconnected, and he probably wasn't even as connected as Kendrick was in the get-go. Unfortunately, what Drake comes off as, and I hate to say it, Drake comes off as one of those white kids who never struggled in any way, shape, or form, and but really fucked with black music, but didn't fuck with black music to the degree that he thought he did. He fucked with it more on a superficial level. And motherfuckers saw and felt that shit and didn't fuck with him. That's what Drake comes off to me, as a dude who wants to be included and can't be included and is angry about how unincluded he is. So now he's on some fucking fuck you, dude, because you ain't got shit on me. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Even the funny thing is, I'm actually looking at the video views. Family Matters, the song that Drake put out, doesn't even have 1 million views, whereas Kendrick's Meet the Grams has 15 million views. Yeah, he's a fan. That's what Drake is. Drake is a fan, and that was when he started. I don't even know if he's that anymore. I don't even think he's a fan anymore. I think Drake was a fan at one point, and now he's just angry. He's angry and jaded and alone, and he got shitty people around him. He's one of those, and unfortunately, that's why I say it's kind of hard. Does it have 14 million views? Because it only says 7. Wait, is that? Wait. Is that? What? It does not have 14 million views. I'm on Drake's. Oh, okay, I see what happened. What? Why did they do that? Okay, sorry, my bad. There's like an audio version of it, and for some reason, it's the music, it's the video that has the 13. You're right. You're right. You're right, studio. You're right. I got you. You're right. I see it. The one that came out a day ago is the one that has 13 million. I don't know why it did that, but it's fine. But yeah, that's just that's a shame. That is an absolute shame. I'm just gonna have Kendrick's thing up just in case here, because I've been proven if we're gonna think this is true, shit can go left real quick. I see what Zoe did. Zoe funny. So the issue currently is that Drake, unfortunately, as an adult, is still too wrapped up in the fame. The problem is, and it was the same issue I think that happened with Pusha T. Why are you out here talking about streams and numbers when motherfuckers don't care about that, bro? Motherfuckers don't, like, you talking to the wrong people. If you were talking to like pop dudes who cared about that shit, that would be a fair argument. But against someone like Kendrick, against someone like Pusha T, even someone against Meek Mill, like, realistically, you ain't got the streams and the numbers argument is kind of irrelevant. Like no one cares for people who are fans of hip hop, they don't care about the streams and the numbers. Especially when this man's attacking your character. He is talking about how terrible of a person you are. Your terrible thought process. And unfortunately, your response, if anything, proved how true it was. It didn't even disprove any of the lies that he said you said. About lying about surgeries and lying about helping your people and this, that, and the third. And being a culture vulture. And going down to Atlanta and stealing shit like, oh. And all he goes there, oh, no, you lying, dog. And I'm like, bro. Now it's just he said, she said. And unfortunately, you've been proven to lie already. So there's nothing to make us believe you more than Kendrick. Kendrick has a better track record of telling the truth than you. So unfortunately, he gets a lot more of like leniency. Now, those accusations are wild. And technically, those haven't been proven, which is why I don't want to talk about those accusations, because they're not proving it. Until there's like some proper proof that he has been doing X amount of things, you can't, I'm just not going to have the conversation about the accusations Kendrick made. But in terms of his like personal problems as a human being, Drake is a loser in the weirdest sense. It's not even like he's kind of a nerd, but the way he really is described is Drake is one of those nice guys who thinks he's owed everything. He was one of them dudes who thought, oh no, you should be with me because I'm doing everything the right way. I treat you like a queen, da-da-da. And he kept losing. He kept losing girls. He kept not getting respect. And over time, he became, I realistically think that's what realistically, I don't really call anybody incel. That's what I think Drake has become. Drake has just become a straight incel where he just like fuck everybody. Yeah, literally. But see, the problem is, Obi, he's the part of nice guys that are trash. Like, there are guys who are just generally nice and get taken advantage of. And although those guys would be considered losers too, those guys you couldn't say aren't good people. They're misguided, if anything. Drake is a person who pretends to be good to get the credit of a nice guy and still fucks that up. And now is on some fuck all y'all in energy. Yeah, that's the issue, is that Drake has been carrying L's throughout the decade. Absolutely. I watched a video about Drake and Pusha beef. Drake's team started slandering his baby mama's character, and Drake was telling her to get rid of the baby. Mess with Wild. Exactly. Like, Drake isn't even like a nice guy in the traditional sense. He's not like the guy who'll carry your books and do your homework. No, Drake is the guy who will do none of those things, but like hold your hand that one time and try to spin you around like your dickhead boyfriend used to do, and then be like, see, I'm a great guy. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to fuck with me. And it's like, bro, the loser on the ground who invested all of his time and money into her is a better person than you, and you're both fucking losers. That's the crazy part. You're the loser under the loser. It's ridiculous, and it's like, whoa, you gotta do better, bro. And he's not. That response, if anything, made him sound even more tone deaf than he already was. Because all the response did is just go, hey, you know what? I think you, sir, are a liar. And you beat your wife. And it's just like, that accusation next to being called a pedophile and then not having any proof one way or the other doesn't help. Especially when you're the one who's more known as a liar. Like, unfortunately, that's why the Kendrick stuff, that's why Kendrick was like one of the worst dudes for him to fight. Because Kendrick literally has been loved by the culture since day one. And if anything, has gained more respect in the culture over time. That's just Kendrick. And I'm not even someone who loves all of Kendrick's stuff. But like, no one, I don't think any, he was literally getting cosigns from some of the biggest rappers in the game. It just became, well, for one, he lied about hiding a child. He tried to, and a lot of people, like he lied about hiding a child, lied about the surgeries, the Drake, and then on top of that, you got all these accusations coming out from other artists like The Weeknd. Like I don't know if anyone knows the situation with The Weeknd, where like The Weeknd was getting started, but he wasn't signed for Drake's label. So he was like, "Oh well, Weeknd, can you help me with some music?" And so Weeknd helped him with some music, and then he was like, well, "Can I get like half your album?" And so he got like half his album. He essentially took advantage of The Weeknd because he was new and young. Nobody ever wanted the receipts in a battle. We just want the joke. No, people want the receipts. You can't. There are certain claims. If we were just talking about base conversational stuff, that'd be one thing. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about accusations. Some of these you need receipts for. You can't just say some of this stuff. Calling someone a pedophile is something you cannot just say. Okay. Also, the argument about Kendrick. The problem is the album argument is not an interesting argument anymore. The argument that Drake's trying to make is you don't drop a lot of albums and you don't drop really any music like that. So what does it matter? Like, honestly, Kendrick could respond, but there's nothing really of value to respond to other than this like constant, oh, well, you like, if we're talking about what Drake's main points in that song is that you got fed false information and you're making accusations off of false information and you should have fact checked yourself. That's the first thing, is the false accusations. The second thing is you don't get as many streams as me and you out here defending terrible people like R. Kelly having his music stay on streaming platforms. You beat your wife and the baby isn't yours, which are things some of this he's already said. Like, the baby isn't yours and you beating your wife is things he's already said in other fucking songs. Actually, in other disses, he's brought those up. So that's not even like repeating disses is a problem. All of Kendrick's songs are approaching him, and the only kind of redundant one is probably Not Like Us. And that's because Not Like Us is not a serious track, in my opinion. What started all this? I mean, to be fair, Kendrick and Drake have not fucked with each other for a while. But the argument is that Drake technically started it. With that song Like That with J. Cole. That's technically what started it recently anyway. You guys have got to stop giving Kendrick a lot of passes. I mean, I'm not giving Kendrick a pass. Like that's why I'm not talking about the pedophilia or the daughter accusations, because there's no proof one way or the other. So I'm not gonna count that. I'm not gonna count any of that. Drake was a guy who was caught on a case. The whole situation is really sus because apparently the victim dropped the other charges. See, that's why, and that was the issue when he, in the middle of the song, he goes, I'm so famous that it would have blown up in my face by now. No. I mean, hell, we could take the Bill Cosby situation if we want to be real about it. The Bill Cosby situation was ridiculous. And that man had to be in his, 90s, 80s or 90s before that man was even brought to trial about it. And then it had to get like mistrial, and it took more time. Like that's the argument that is, I'm so famous, I would have been caught by now if it was true, is a terrible excuse, because there are plenty of people, famous or otherwise, who didn't get caught with that type of shit until way later. So that's a weird argument. If anything, that makes you sound more suspicious. Like, he keeps saying everything is facts. And I just don't believe it. I genuinely don't believe it, and there's no reason to believe it. And that's the part that's fucking concerning. Cause he's saying it like it's common knowledge. And I'm just like, it's not, bro. It's not. The beef escalated after Kendrick declined to be on the first person shooter. It was supposed to be Drake, Cole, Kendrick on the same track. Yeah, my bad. There it is. Yeah, Drake, the first person shooter. That's the song I forgot, messed up. He went and said he was number one. No, my issue is that you can't call yourself great if you don't put up the numbers. It's a business. Yeah, but that's not that doesn't matter in the same way in hip hop, right? Like, if we're going to be real about it, the greatest rapper, if we're just going off of numbers, is technically Eminem, right? Eminem has the most numbers, but most people don't consider him the best in the world. Now, people will put him up there. People will put him in like top 10. And some people even put him in top 5, right? But like, the numbers isn't just that. It doesn't matter 100%. I'm not saying it doesn't matter at all, but Kendrick has been viewed in the top conversation even without the numbers. Even without the numbers. Like, if we're talking about best-selling hip-hop artists, fine. Let's look at the list. Because Drake is up there, but Drake isn't even number one right now. Yeah, Eminem is still first. But give me the full list. The full list is Eminem is currently at 200 million. Drake is at 100. Drake is still 30 million behind Eminem. Jay-Z, he's tied with Jay-Z technically. And Drake and Jay-Z doesn't release insanely consistently either anymore. Kanye's right under him. Then Nicki Minaj is like 60 million under Ye. And technically Eminem is like the 10th best-selling artist of all time. Just in any genre. But yeah, like, there's still like 30 million behind M. And remember, M has already been talking about putting out a new album this summer. So that number's going to go up again. Realistically, the only reason why I think Drake is even as high as he is because Drake puts out way more albums consistently. Drake, Kendrick, and Cole all have about the same tier in terms of... Really? I don't think... If we're talking about best-selling, I don't know if that's the same thing. Let me see. Drake. Let me go check sales real quick. Yeah, of course they give me the beat, but that's not what I want. Yeah, it's just giving me the fucking... I wanted like the sales, but I may not be able to get that specifically in a quick manner. If hip hop wants to be its own thing, then it needs to leave the music business. What about Nas? Numbers matter. Drake killed Joe Budden because no one cared to listen to his response. That's okay. So I see what you're saying, Studio. That's a fair point. They matter, but in the context of that, Joe also doesn't have a lot of music that people fuck with. Like, Joe has like one mainstream song that is popular. Kendrick literally is on multiple charting hits. So that argument doesn't really work with Kendrick because Kendrick is on the charts. Hip hop wanted this. You wanted hip hop to evolve to new heights. Now you got it. This isn't really evolving at this point. This went from like a friendly rap beef competition to you a motherfucking pedophile. You hiding your children. You're hiding more children and you're a piece of shit as a human being. This isn't really like hip hop at this point. This is, I fucking hate you. Like, for God's sakes, one of his tracks literally is like, I hate the way that you walk, I hate the way you talk. He just don't like that man at all. Like, we're past the fucking stage of like, oh well, maybe we just understood. Maybe we just need to have a conversation. No, he hates that man. It's interesting reception on places like IG is Drake won. Kendrick is the winner. Interesting. Hip hop has always been like this. Tupac hit him, and No Vaseline were this. Lil B over Drake. It's funny because if it's true that Drake did all this, he kind of hurt himself in the long run because regardless of the allegations, the world is poking fun at him globally. It's gotten out of hand. Oh, absolutely. It's become absolutely insane. Nas is a better rapper than Jay-Z, but Jay-Z gets better beats in his song. Jay-Z has more record sales and success. I've heard this going around when it pertains to Drake. Kendrick, if True said on some of this and just now brought it up, what if there was no beef? This would still be hidden, allegedly. Well, that's a fair argument. Because remember, he said he wasn't going to bring any of this up if it wasn't for the fact that Drake said something about his family, which argumentatively would kind of hurt Kendrick's brand. Because if Kendrick was the type of dude he said he was, then realistically, he should have just said it. Like, this is not information you should just be sitting on if you think that man is a pedophile or whatever. Like, you would, but see, then it brings, that's the part that's a good argument against Kendrick's statement. Like, realistically, if you're a man of the people and this man's out here doing all this crazy shit, why are you waiting until a beef to be like da-da-da? Now, grant, doing it in a beef, it makes it hit harder. Don't get it twisted. It hits harder. It absolutely hits harder by doing it in a beef. But, like, if you're a man of the people, it's a little concerning that you didn't just bring this up, earlier and maybe potentially protect some people who didn't know. I don't know. That's the one part I'll give you. If we're being fair here, that's a fair argument. If this is something you've sat on for years and you've known for a while, and the way Kendrick talks makes it sound like he's known it for a bit, you probably should have said something, buddy. But see, Kendrick, it's one of those, I'm not trying to get killed in the music industry. As much as Kendrick may not like the music industry, and a lot of people have said it, you're still in it and you're still playing the game. You're still playing the game in the music industry. So, like, you might be a part of the problem. Like, we're being honestly here. Instead of contacting the authorities, Kendrick ruined a potential case by saying Drake was a pedophile. See, but I think that's a fair argument. That part is a fair argument. Kendrick, if you really thought, considering how much he quote unquote doesn't like Drake, it's like, why wouldn't you just report him? Why wouldn't you go out of your way to report him? Well, it's because that industry game still affects you to some degree, and you fought, and for whatever reason you said, I'm going to sit on it. And I think that's a fair critique, right? Calling someone something like that and then not like properly addressing it, that's the part you can get Kendrick on. I don't think YouTube liked my comment too. Oh, I think maybe I missed your comment. I think I saw it, Retro, and I just didn't read it home. Let me see. I don't know about these dudes because I like good music. Ooh, but what's the beef? Just two singers calling each other names? No. This is rap beef. This is rap beef. This ain't fucking the same thing. Kendrick and Euphoria. Let's keep this respectful, Drake, and Family Matters. You're short, Kendrick. You like kids. And someone's in the back like, damn, that escalated. But see, that's a crazy accusation. But I think the argument is fair. If someone wants to critique Kendrick on anything, if you were sitting on information like that, why didn't you tip the police off or do something? Because now you've made a ridiculous claim in a rap song, but nobody's contacted authorities. Nobody. No one said, fuck it, let me go let me go hit, some authorities up because of these accusations? Or is it one of those things where it's just an accusation and you don't have enough proof to even justify calling, which is real, which then makes you go, why'd you bring it up in the song? So if anyone wants to critique him for that, sure, you absolutely can critique Kendrick for that. That's why I didn't want to talk about the accusation, because I still think that this is hard regardless of the accusation. Like telling him how bad of a father he is and some of his terrible decisions, even the stuff about Atlanta and going down to rappers and the fact that certain rappers are co-signing his arguments, like that's what makes him like bad. That makes it like terrible. Oh, look, Academics just showed up on my damn Twitch. I'm not even following Academics, but he's on Twitch, and it says he's fucking streaming with Drake's response, which isn't really that crazy. Drake's response is literally just, you lying, dog. What you lying on me for? And why you still hitting your wife? And why you ain't seen your baby that ain't yours? Like, the problem is that Drake's response isn't strong enough. Particularly because I don't think Drake has anything else. And that's why I'm more surprised Drake even put a response out. Because there wasn't nothing new in this other than you lying on me, dog, and it was calculated. The whole you lie part of Meet the Grams is enough to call you out. Agreed. Because people tipping off authorities when it comes to big people in the music industry or Hollywood always. So, because... Wait, I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not, Goki. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. It feels like that's meant to be sarcasm. But I'm saying, like, it just seems weird that you would put it in a song, but you wouldn't, like Kendrick could have did what he'd been done. He didn't even have to do it this way. Speaking of Twitch, this woman with massive things on the front of my page, Curiously got to marry me and shit, was just doing nothing, just chest out. Oh yeah, bro, Twitch got the chest for days, bro. It ain't even about the video games. We just out. Is it a VTuber? I have Twitch up on the screen. That's what I'm asking. I just saw a VTuber when I scrolled down the page. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. Yeah. The internet's crazy. Drake lost in Euphoria, but now they just throwing random accusations. One woman beat her now. The other one's a pedo. More than likely, nothing will come of it, and they'll both move on. I think that's the part that then makes that, if anything, would undermine Kendrick a lot. The fact that you call this man a pedophile and nothing came of it. That would say a lot. That would look really bad if there couldn't be a proper response to that. I think that's the part that kind of scares me. It's funny. Y'all never hit the opposite sex before? No, because we know what happens. This society has never approved of hitting women. Like in America, you going to jail. That's just what it is. It's not even like a conversation of like, do we want to hit women? The only time I want to put my hands on somebody is if you attacking me. Like it's my goal is out of self-defense or protecting something. I gotta be protected. I'm not about to just swing at you for the sake of it. Like I gotta be protecting something. That would be my goal. Yeah, Ryan, things got crazy. It's been an interesting night. It's funny because Tyrone just started streaming his Inuyasha stream. Well, protecting yourself is fine, Zobi. I don't think that's an issue. But you can't just say, y'all never hit women before. You know how hard it is for men to openly avoid hitting women? Because we have to. Because if you don't, especially someone in like Kendrick or even Drake's positions, if you hit a woman, that is money. That is finances. You have lost thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly millions, because you put your hands on a woman. So yeah, motherfuckers ain't trying to be out here getting caught up in that, bro. As long as the goal is to get away from the situation if you can avoid it. All right. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's the nature of the situation. Drake has put out a response. That response was kind of lukewarm. If that, I don't even know if I want to call it that. Kendrick may or may not respond to it. Kendrick doesn't, even if Kendrick responds to it, I imagine it's going to be kind of redundant. Because realistically, Not Like Us was using stuff from Meet the Grams as a premise. So I'm like, how much more can you really say? And unfortunately, calling him a pedo is kind of one of the highest like forms of disrespect you can even throw out. Like, what else could you call him? You literally made a song talking to his parents and his children and him, right? Or his potential children, his son at least. Apparently, Kendrick apparently had 19 more. I had a 19-minute track already, so there's more. Could be. I mean, Kendrick has openly admitted he doesn't like this man. The problem is whether it being good quality music is a difference. Not saying he doesn't have good choices in beats, but like we're past the point of shock value. The back-to-back with Kendrick was kind of crazy, okay? Now it's just kind of like, well, do you have content you can put out? Oh, absolutely, sure, totally. But, like, is that it, I guess? I don't even know what to say, dog. Just, calling someone a pedo and a sex trafficker is the lowest thing you can call anyone in the hip hop community because the Diddy situation, basically, there's nowhere to go for either side. The RDC skit was really how it played out. My ex Puerto Rican girl tried to stab me. God dang, man. Sorry you were in that position, Zobi. But it sounds at least you made it out alive. That's always the important part. Anytime anyone pulls a knife out on me, I'm like, yep, I got the wrong type of person with me. Honestly, though, I think there's no response is the best response. At this point, yeah. Because Drake's response isn't really crazy enough. Unless Kendrick just wants to be petty. But see, Kendrick eventually will hurt his own credibility by just saying the same thing over and over again. Because that's kind of the problem with Drake's. You said the same thing over and over again. I hate that it's turned into this because I think Drake had an argument in the beginning. But see, the problem is Drake is so far gone that the part of him that is sympathetic doesn't matter anymore. Drake spent too much time, has gotten corrupted too heavily for people to feel bad for his situation anymore. Like, at a point in time, Drake, you can make the argument that Drake was bullied by the industry and treated poorly. And that would be partially true. And then no one cares the moment you start taking advantage of newer artists and bullying people on your label and this, that, and the third. And then alienating yourself from the whole industry. And then trying to be a fucking villain on your album, right? The sympathy he would have had is already gone at this point. But I think it's a point to make that like nerdy or like non-traditional rap does not get the same level of open arms as like traditional rap. And I think a lot of artists end up having to change because the industry likes one over the other. I still feel in a lot of ways, and maybe I might be wrong, but I feel like that's what happened with Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino's like first album was fucking great for me. And then his second one, although I know a lot of people, I know the mainstream fuck with his second album a lot more. I was kind of like, I kind of miss what you used to do. I kind of miss when you were on that geeky shit with your rap. Now it just feels like you're on some like activist shit, and it kind of doesn't feel genuine because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. That's just me though. Drake is officially one of the GOAT boys. Damn, no hope for my boy Jimmy. In the Meet the Grams, he wasn't specific. He just gave a generalization. But it's not like us. But in Not Like Us, he gave names to the people in his group. So the only way Kendrick can even go harder is to give out more names. Actually, that's true. He dissed everyone. What was he trying to achieve? Studio's coping right here. Yeah, another gangster rapper. J. Cole just dropped. There's no way J. Cole just dropped. What? Jermaine Cole, what are you doing? Yeah, JK, he's a coward. Don't do Cole like that. I feel like J. Cole gets made fun of because he just didn't want to fall into. The problem is that J. Cole came to a decision and said, I'm not going to fall into the same bullshit that I've been falling into, which I think is respectable and something that should be like brought up more. Cole was like, I'm not about to follow this dumb shit up for no reason. And then motherfuckers say you lame because you didn't join in the carnage. And the reality is because at the end of the day, for us, everyone in this chat, us everyday people, this is pure entertainment. This don't do nothing else for us but to be just pure entertainment. And because of that, we don't care about him doing the right thing, which in a way should talk about and be a reflection of the problem in hip hop, that you got mad for a man not trying to get into some shit. He was trying to avoid problems, and motherfuckers out here like, you a lame. That's that type of bullying shit that's toxic as fuck and gets you caught up in situations you don't need to be a part of. I ain't got no disrespect for J. Cole. J. Cole came out and did some shit and was like, nah, man, I don't need to do that shit. And so he backed up and said, listen, my bad. I didn't need to get into this stuff. I'm gonna just let y'all do what y'all gonna do. I'm just gonna be over here chilling because this is about to turn into some shit. And guess what? Cole was motherfucking right. Cole was like, yo, this is about to turn into a motherfucking problem. Spoiler alert, it turned into a whole problem. But for us as the general public, we like, yeah, carnage. Yeah, rap beef. Yeah, accusations. But we literally watching two grown men attack each other with music. Like, some of this don't need to happen. Like, I'm not, you can be, and here's my thing. I want to make sure this is understood. I am fine. If you like this, that's perfectly fine. If you like the carnage and the rap beat and you all here for the competition, I ain't got no beef with you on that, right? If that's what you want to do, but my thing is this, don't shame another man because he wanted to try to be better, okay? That's the one thing we ain't gonna do on here. We're not gonna shame a man for choosing to walk away from what he viewed as a toxic situation, all right? People in the hip hop community love gossip and drama. It's like the reality TV soap operas for them. And that's exactly, you got the same motherfuckers out here watching Real Housewives of Atlanta like that's quality television. It's not. You just want to see drama with rappers and they fucking wives, you fucking assholes. That's what you want to do. Also, as someone who lives in Georgia, fuck Atlanta. That's a whole other issue. Not the people. I just don't like the city. I don't like the vibe in the city. Shit's crazy and expensive and annoying as fuck. And that's why I don't like driving over there. So we're all in agreement about one thing, is that Metro brought the motherfucking drum. Metro brought them drums. And then Metro had a field day. I'm not even mad about that. That was just funny to me. BBL Drizzy, like he turned it a low key, turned into a gospel song if someone was dedicated enough. What am I missing? Kendrick will struggle to put out his next two albums, and they will be game changing. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we want good music. That's what we want. We just want good music. If we can get good music, I don't care. I wouldn't watch anime if all the main characters turned down every battle. Not every fucking battle. It's not every battle, but I think in this particular situation, I'm not mad for him turning out one battle, okay? He said, I don't need to do this. And everyone was in the back like, you know what? And especially in retrospect now, I'm like, you know what, Cole? I think you made the right decision. It's funny. People were clowning Cole until they saw Kendrick go at Drake, and they was like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to leave that shit alone. And it was like, you know what? Maybe Cole got the right idea. Kendrick was supposed to drop, but Drake dropped first, so Kendrick had to drop the idea of dropping. What the fuck? Studios, shut up. Shut your ass up. This is so stupid. Jesus Christ. I don't think we're going to get any more drops tonight. I'm not a music channel, so I'm not out here trying to follow I'm not trying to get I'm not out here trying to get all the clicks and shit for all this. I wanted to have a conversation about Drake's psyche and how the industry kind of plays certain mentalities. But the problem is that Drake is just kind of a bad person by himself. So, you know, that's an issue. But like I said, I do have work tomorrow and I do have things I have to do. All I'm going to say is I'm waiting for the Eminem album in the next few months. That's what I want. I want an Eminem album in the next few months, and I'm looking forward to that. Whatever else comes is what comes. That's what it's going to be. Drake dissing Cole is funny. It probably makes Cole even saltier that he sided with him, not going to lie. Oh, Lord. We're not going to get into this. The point I'm making is yeah, Drake just dropped, like, during the stream. Like, if this stream is still up, and it may not be, yo. So, support the stream, because it may not be up when I end this. I'm going to be real with you. Because Drake, just because Kendrick released the copyright claims, don't mean Drake don't release them. Drake, absolutely. If Drake is the kind of dude I think he is, he's probably gonna want that bag. So we'll see what happens. So the stream may be like gone. We'll see what happens. But yeah. Looking forward to the Eminem album later this summer. I don't really care about Lil Nas X. There's like maybe 1 or 2 songs I like from Lil Nas X, and that's it. But yeah, seriously. I have work tomorrow. I have responsibilities and stuff. But I appreciate those in the chat and in the stream who supported. We had like almost 30 viewers in here at one point, so I appreciate it. Next week is just more stuff. I'm hoping we get some more game announcements or some talks of something. I just want something. Work! Yes, senpai. I have a motherfucking job! And it's Sunday. It's May 5th. The fuck? Well, Paper Mario, I think, releases later this month, right? Endless Ocean, I know, released Friday. Or Thursday or Friday. But yeah, I want some more game announcements. Something I can get my teeth sunk into. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go take a shower. Get ready for bed. Maybe have Tyrone stream playing in the background. I will link you guys over there if I'm going to be real with you. This conversation is going to be so weird to have in the middle of them like doing Inuyasha, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Also, happy Cinco de Mayo for our fellow people of a certain descent. I don't want to say specifically like the descent because I feel like I'm going to be wrong and, you know, I don't want to be offensive here. But yeah, for those who celebrate it, enjoy. What is it? 6. My fellow vatos! Let's go, vato! Inuyasha. Yasha. All my fellas. All my fellas. All my fellas. I'm fucking. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Super Mario OST is better than that. Why? Alright, we're done. We're done. It's been your boys. The insane game freak. I will see you tomorrow on the Juices Loose stream. If not, I will see you on Tuesday on Polly's Pokemon White stream. And if not, I will see you on Wednesday on my Twitch channel playing Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. You're going to get me in the next 3 days. I'm not dead yet. So, I'll see you later. Life's a game. Play to win. And I will catch you guys later. Hopefully the stream doesn't get copyright claim. If it is, then Kendrick absolutely won. If this bitch gets copyright, I'm just going to put it out right now. All right, we outie. Peace and dough.